Alright, breaking news story. Elon Musk was just sued for his $1 million giveaway in Pennsylvania, and finally, this dude has been trying to leverage all of his resources, whether it's his wealth, the platform that he owns, his relationships, to get Trump back into office for his own personal gain, and he's been doing that via extra legal means, well, at least according to the Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner. Now, before we break down this article titled, Philadelphia DA Sues Elon Musk and his super PAC to Stop $1 million Giveaway, I do want to break down some of the fallout from this Donald Trump rally last night, because it's getting worse and worse by the day. Even Fox News had to go on and apologize. The Five said this was pretty offensive and we condemn these comments. The Trump campaign is all had to condemn the comments of their own speakers. I mean, what the comedian said was uniquely bad, but it's the fact that everybody that followed him also doubled down on that type of rhetoric, and nobody even thought to condemn the Puerto Rico comments or the other insane comments. So we'll break down this Elon story. We'll break down the fallout from Madison Square Garden. With 8 days to go, we have no time to waste. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and let's start off with this clip that just came out of AOC on MSNBC talking about Trump's campaign rally last night.
Right now, the campaign is scrambling, and they're trying to blame this rhetoric on a so-called comedian. This is not a comedian. This is the Trump campaign. They invited this rhetoric on their stage for a reason. It was a chorus of speakers on that campaign for a reason. It was vetted, and they knew exactly who was going to say what before they went on. And so the only backtracking that they're doing right now is just because tens of thousands of Puerto Ricans happen to live in Philadelphia, Florida, Michigan, Wisconsin, and also the several swing seats in the House of Representatives that run through the state of New York, and they're just realizing that they might have made a big error by saying out loud what they're thinking.
Yep, and AOC makes a great point. Again, it's not just about the comedian. It's about the Trump campaign. It's about the stage that the comedian was on. It's about the people in that audience that were cheering him on. It's also about the chorus of other speakers, as AOC puts it perfectly. It was a chorus because they were all singing the same song of racism, of xenophobia, misogyny, etc., over and over. Every single speaker was using apocalyptic rhetoric, but I do have some good news about the fallout from this. I want to play a minute of this CNN segment because they break down the demographic makeup of Pennsylvania and how these comments could backfire in an insane way.
This morning, something unusual. Republicans, even the Trump campaign, trying to undo some of the damage from Donald Trump's big rally here in New York City. Pennsylvania, you remember the Commonwealth? Joe Biden won it by just 81,000 votes in 2020. Donald Trump won it by 44,000 votes in 2016. So you get the idea. It's really close in Pennsylvania. Okay, there are around 600,000 by some counts, 600,000 Latino voters, I'll put an L right there, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Around, by some counts, 300,000 Puerto Rican voters in the state of Pennsylvania, the third highest Puerto Rican population in the entire country. You will notice one thing about these two numbers here. They're both way bigger than the margin in Pennsylvania the last two elections. They are a key voting bloc in the Commonwealth. And it's not just the numbers, it's where they are in the Commonwealth. Let's focus in here now. The darker the shade, the greater the population. And there are a few places that are pushing 30, 40, 50% Hispanic population. I'm going to circle them right here around these three counties and these two counties here. And if I take out this filter and go back to the main map, what you can see is that 4 years ago, Joe Biden won 3 of these counties. Donald Trump really won 2. And they're some of the swingiest in this swing Commonwealth. Let's just push in. Everyone knows Joe Biden, of course, is from Scranton, Lackawanna County. He got 53% there.
This is just all some amazing news. This is so amazing, especially if you're feeling a little bit nervous about the election. Just know that the Trump campaign is actively self-destructing and actively nuking their chances. And even Fox News knows it. Watch, the Fox News host says these comments were offensive, but then the Trump spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, tries to run defense and say, what about all the other speakers? You know, I'll play the clip.
This morning, the mainstream media has picked up on the comics comments, which were offensive. have been denounced by the campaign and everybody else. What went on with that?
Look, it was a comedian who made a joke in poor taste. Obviously, that joke does not reflect the views of President Trump or our campaign.
It does.
And I think it is sad that the media will pick up on one joke that was made by a comedian rather than the truths that were shared by the phenomenal list of speakers that we had. We had congressmen and women. We had Senator J.D. Vance. We had Dana White, friends of the president. Dan Scavino, my colleague and friend, who shared very intimate moments with President Trump when they were in the hospital.
All right, again, this is some North Korea level spinning right here. It was one joke. It was not one joke. Even if you remove the Puerto Rico garbage joke, he made a joke about black people and watermelons. He made a joke about go away, immigrants. He also made a joke about Latinos having too many babies, and then every speaker that followed doubled down on that exact rhetoric. The next person that followed called Hillary Clinton a bitch. The next person that spoke called Kamala Harris the devil. Then Tucker Carlson took the stage and made an insanely, absurdly racist joke about Kamala Harris being Malaysian or whatever he said. So the point is, it wasn't just one joke in isolation, and it absolutely does reflect the views of the Trump campaign. When you invite speaker after speaker, as AOC said, a chorus of speakers, then yeah, that reflects pretty poorly on you. And I want to use this compilation. It's only a minute long, but it perfectly proves that it wasn't just one joke. This puts all the pieces of apocalyptic rhetoric together in 1 minute. Take a look.
Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
None of these jokes are even remotely clever. You can get away with being edgy if you're clever, but this is just racism.
Together. It was awesome.
She is some sick Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a. The whole party, a bunch of degenerates.
She is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist. It's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, former
Good one. Why is he shaking like that on stage?
California prosecutor ever to be elected president.
After those disgusting warm-up acts, Trump then ratcheted up his incendiary, vengeful rhetoric.
I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. And when I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy, becomes the sound of, oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within. But this is who we're fighting. They're the enemy of the people, the press.
Trump still calling Democrats the enemy from within, and then the press the enemy of the people. The press exists for the people as a guardrail. The people can become the press, and we check politicians. And I just want to compare this to how VP Harris is speaking this morning in her CBS interview. Let's check this out.
And said, I think she needs to take a cognitive test. I think Kamala should have a test because there's something missing, there's something wrong with her. Would you take a cognitive test?
Sure. I would challenge him to take the same one.
Wait, why is that even a question? Why is the question if she would take a cognitive test?
But here's the thing. This is what he has resorted to, and I think he actually is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And has resorted to name calling because he actually has no plan for the American people. But on the point of why Donald Trump is unfit to be president of the United States, don't take it from me. Listen to the people who know him best. His former chiefs of staff, most recently, 4-star Marine General John Kelly. Listen to 2 former secretaries of defense who worked for him. Listen to his national security advisor. Listen to his vice president, who have all, in one way or another, said he is unfit to be president again, should never be president again, and is dangerous.
Boom. Kamala Harris is so good in these interviews, and one thing that I've noticed is that she uses a lot of the same answers, but that is a function of the fact that she's very detail-oriented. She was asked recently, what's your biggest weakness? And she said she is too detail-oriented, and that sounds like a non-answer, but she genuinely is. You can see with every interview she gives, she's very careful with every single word she says, and that's also a function of her being a prosecutor. Honestly, I think there are some times where she should let her guard down a little bit more, because whenever she does that and does those really clever quips at rallies, like, you're at the wrong rally, go to the smaller one down the street, or when she's interacting with people, I like when she kind of switches it up a bit. And she's got a great personality. This reads, fallout spreads from racist rhetoric at MSG rally. What you saw last night is a divisive America. That's race baiting. It's all the things they were doing in the 30s and 40s, former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci said Monday. And you know, we'll revisit this article, but I do want to talk about Elon Musk for a second, aka the right's George Soros. Now, Republicans always make up conspiracy theories about George Soros pulling all the strings behind the scenes, owning certain media platforms and controlling people's minds, putting chips in people's brains. That actually describes Elon Musk word for word. Yes, George Soros donates a lot to the Democrats, but he's a philanthropist. He's been doing that his entire life. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner sues Elon Musk and his super PAC to stop $1 million giveaway. The suit alleges that the prizes given away by the America PAC are part of an illegal lottery. And here's Elon Musk doing his cringe scream. We'll break that down in 1 minute. But Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner is suing Elon Musk and his super PAC to block their $1 million giveaway to registered voters, seeking to halt the lottery-style stunt that election experts and the Justice Department have warned might violate federal law. And the thing is, Elon is firing on all cylinders with these kind of illegal schemes, maybe illegal schemes. He did a $47 giveaway about a month back. He's door knocking himself. He bought a social media platform to promote and boost disinformation and his America PAC. A lot of this is very, very sketchy. Krasner is seeking an injunction. He argued in a filing Monday that the effort is an illegal, unregulated lottery, sidestepping the question of whether it violates laws against buying votes. Quote, America PAC and Musk are lulling Philadelphia citizens and others in the Commonwealth and other swing states in the upcoming elections to give up their personal identifying information and make a political pledge in exchange for the chance to win $1 million. That's a lottery, the suit alleges, and it is indisputably an unlawful lottery. Under unambiguous Pennsylvania law, all lotteries in Pennsylvania must be regulated by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And it was just this month that Musk's America PAC began giving away $1 million a day to a registered voter who signs a petition pledging support for the First and Second Amendments, and $100 to Pennsylvania voters who signed the petition. And Musk announced the giveaways while openly and regularly campaigning for former President Donald Trump. And I did this thing at the MAGA rally yesterday where I'd ask them, isn't it insane that billionaires like George Soros can influence our politics? Isn't it insane that George Soros can spread disinformation on Facebook, that George Soros can buy votes? And they were like, yeah, that's insane. And I was like, wait a minute. Did I say Soros? I meant Elon Musk. And they'd always be like, no, we love Elon Musk. That's not true. It's illegal under federal law to pay someone to vote, but Musk insists he isn't paying people to register. Musk and America PAC have said that their monetary giveaways are to encourage petition signatures and in turn hoping those petition signatures correlate with more voting. Still, his contest is only open to those in key battleground states and favors Pennsylvania voters by awarding them all $100 each. The DOJ sent his PAC a warning letter last week, but Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, who is the world's richest person, continued to defend the enterprise. I mean, even if he gets fined a few $1,000,000, that's nothing in comparison to the return on investment that he'll make if Trump gets back in office. He'll make tens of billions of dollars, especially if he's in charge of our regulatory institutions. Quote, to be clear, this is not a petition to vote for or register for anyone. It's really a petition in support of the Constitution of the United States, and in particular, freedom of speech. I mean, if it's in support of the Constitution, then you think it's in support of Kamala, the one who doesn't want to terminate the Constitution. And when it comes to freedom of speech, Donald Trump just called the press the enemy of the people. That is straight up fascistic rhetoric. Now, I do want to show you some clips of Elon Musk last night because, boy, it was bad. He came on stage and he screamed in the cringiest way possible. Watch this clip real quick.
Make the margin of victory so big that you know what can't happen.
All right, F this guy. He deserves everything that's coming, every single lawsuit that hits him. He is right here insinuating that there is going to be massive voter fraud, but he's doing the thing where he's just asking questions. He says, you don't want the thing to happen.
So big that you know what can't happen.
He's talking about voter fraud. That didn't happen. It didn't happen last time either. This was a really cringe moment from Musk.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark, gothic MAGA.
Wow, that is so epic. That would have been so cool if I was 9 years old or if I got repeatedly hit in the head with a blunt object. Here's Elon Musk just screaming on stage. Wow, that was badass. Now, I do want to end this off by finishing this article named Fallout Spreads from this rally. Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally Sunday evening was supposed to provide his closing argument against Kamala Harris. Instead, Trump and his supporters are being forced to answer for their hateful and racist rhetoric. Quote, and it's insane because even Florida Republican Senator Rick Scott, who is a MAGA sycophant and who is up for re-election this year in a state heavily populated with Puerto Ricans, wrote on social media that, quote, the joke bombed for a reason. Puerto Ricans are amazing people and amazing Americans. Yeah, you cannot backtrack that, buddy. You cannot backtrack being at that event, Senator Rick Scott. Early Monday morning, the Harris campaign was quick to jump in, highlighting headlines in 17 newspapers, 8 clips from TV shows, and 29 other statements from politicians, celebrities, and journalists. Firing on all cylinders and putting the Trump campaign on the defense with 8 days to go, that is a win. If you guys appreciate what I do and you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, have a great rest of your day, and peace out.